Good morning, everybody. First Warn 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on your Friday. It is 8:13 on your Friday morning. Today will be hot, it will be humid, but it will also bring the chance for rain and thunderstorm activity. We do have a first warn that is in place for this afternoon and into the evening hours. So it may put a damper on some of your outdoor plans if you have any. We'll kind of walk through of what to expect today and kind of coverage and timing. So the first warn will be in place for this afternoon and into the evening hours. All modes of severe weather will be possible. Damaging winds is the primary threat. Hail, heavy rainfall also possible. The tornado threat is very low, but it is not zero. A few isolated spin-ups could be possible. Otherwise, we're partly to mostly cloudy right now. We will eventually get hot and humid when we get to the afternoon. So still the heat and humidity today. High temperatures in the low 90s. However, feeling closer to the upper 90s to the lower triple digits. Those rain chances really start to build in once we go into the lunchtime hour. Small 20% chance, I think, will run through this morning and into the early afternoon. So it's by the time you're heading home from work, those chances start to rise. So 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we go from 40% chance by 3 to 60 at 5. 60 holds through the rest of this evening, and then we'll taper off once we get past the 10 o'clock time frame, and then be around 20% chance through the overnight. So I don't think everyone is going to see storms today. It is not going to rain the entirety of the time between 3 and 10 p.m., but scattered to numerous rain and showers and thunderstorms, and the potential for severe weather will be out there during that time frame. So that's something that you have to keep in mind if you have any outdoor plans, especially if you are going to places like the Royals game. You could get rained on. There could be things like a lightning delay if lightning is in the vicinity. I don't know the exact miles away from the stadium. They have to be from the lightning in order for a delay to be issued, but it's just something to be mindful of if there is that potential for rain and storms and severe weather as you go through this kind of evening to afternoon time frame. Right now, there is not a whole lot going on our radar. That's some ground clutter out there. Let's see if I can have a better view here. There we go. There is some light shower activity that's happening to the northwest in places like Maryville. But overall, the better chance for rain is going to be right over our northern border today, and then, or I should say through the morning at least. Right now, those temperatures are in the upper 70s. We started out warm, and that means we're going to get warm too. So mostly cloudy conditions. Partly cloudy conditions have held those temperatures at bay through the overnight hours tonight. 79 right now, but feeling like the lower 80s around 82. We will have a southerly breeze between about 10 to 20 miles per hour today. Could be gusting to 25. So there will be a little bit of air movement. However, it will be funneling around warm air. We will be 84 degrees by the time we get to 10. It'll be 87 by 11. We're already around 89 at noon, and then we will be around 90 by 1 o'clock. 92 will be our high temperature today. And then we have that first warn in place. Could be feeling more like the upper 90s to the low triple digits. Let's talk about our weekend. Friday, today, 92 is our high. 60% chance for rain and storms. A first warn is in place. That chance for rain and storms is going to ride with a cold front. That cold front will drop our humidity a little bit and drop the temperatures a lot compared to Friday and Saturday. We're around 84 as our high temperature on Saturday. Partly cloudy, small 20% chance for some rain. Similar conditions for Sunday, 85. Generally going to be feeling like the upper 80s because humidity levels will remain similar-ish. We will get a little bit of a break from that humidity, but we will be feeling like the upper 80s still for your Saturday and Sunday. So not quite as humid as we have been, but the humidity still kind of hangs around. We get a lot hotter, though, as you can see, as we get back to Monday. So temperatures will be feeling like the 80s, which is different than the 90s to the triple digits. So there will be a little bit of a cool down for your weekend. Now let's break down the severe risk for today and then what to expect as we go through the rest of the day today. So we do have a level 2 out of 5 risk highlighted in yellow. That is including the metro and points northward. Level 1 out of 5 risk is down towards our south, along our southern border, highlighted in green. As I mentioned, all modes of severe weather are possible, but overall damaging winds are going to be the primary threat. Then it will be hail, heavy rainfall, and there is a low tornado threat. However, an isolated spin-up could be possible. I mentioned radar right now, not a whole lot going on, just some rain up toward the northwest at this point. Up towards places like Maryville, mainly in our northern border, along the northern border and into Iowa. As I mentioned, that's a little bit of some ground clutter out there. I then want to fast forward us to, here we are at 8 o'clock. So it is 8:18. Here's what our future radar is showing at 8 a.m. Showers are mainly along the northern border and north into Iowa. I think maybe some spotty activity starts to creep into our area between about 10 and noon before we really start to get some rain and storms to start to develop by the time we get to about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You could see them pulsing a little bit towards Richmond and Marshall. I think the best chance to see those kind of storms start to bubble up at first is going to be along and east of the I-35 corridor. These could be strong to severe as well. Then once we get to 5, 6, 7 o'clock, more showers and storms will start to bubble up. Those could form into what could be a broken line of sorts or a cluster that then could sweep down to the southeast and move through the metro as we go through the 5 to even 10 p.m. time frame. But as you can see, by 10, things are ending pretty quickly. Once that's out, it's out. We're looking at maybe some spotty activity through the overnight, maybe isolated showers, but other than that, we should be mainly dry. We then get into Saturday. Saturday brings a small chance for some isolated rain showers, as well as Sunday. I mentioned the potential for some pockets of heavy rainfall. I'm thinking anywhere between about a quarter to an inch is going to be possible. However, if there are areas that set up with a heavier amount of rain and thunderstorm activity, like if we see that line, that's where we could see the higher amount of rainfall potential. So I think 1 to 2 inches in isolated local areas will be possible too. Now, as I mentioned, not all of us will see rain and thunderstorms today. Keep that in mind. As you can see, some places down to our south could have that happen. As you could see, as potential rainfall totals are very low, less than 1/10 of an inch. So that's what we've got going on for our Friday. Just make sure that you are aware of the chance for rain and storms, especially during your commute home and then your dinner time hours or any festivities that you have going on for your Friday evening. We then get much cooler for your Saturday and Sunday at 85 and 84 degrees, or I should say 84, 85 degrees. Small chance for some rain. The cool off is short-lived. We're back into the low 90s by Monday. A first warn is in place on Tuesday for some rain and thunderstorm activity. It's looking like to be scattered at this time. And at this point, it looks like mainly in the afternoon and into the evening hours. But of course, we're keeping a close eye on that because it's Friday. That's still several days away. Once Tuesday comes, though, we will cool back down again, mid-80s on Wednesday, low 80s on Thursday. But as you can see, we kind of keep this small pattern for the chance for some rain and storms just about each day. So best chance to see rain and thunderstorm activity is going to be today. The second best will be Tuesday, the 2 days with the first warns we're watching. Otherwise, 30% chance for Wednesday and Thursday as we go into next week. So that's the latest I've got for you here on this Friday morning. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your Friday as well as rest of the weekend. Enjoy slightly cooler temperatures this weekend.